Welcome to another episode of the What's Up Papa podcast. I am one of your hosts, Joe, another co-host, Isaac, and today we do have a special guest, one of our great friends, the man, or the man, the sexy man, SmileyCuts.
That's me. What up?
Or Phoenix Sustaita, one of our really good friends that we met in high school, also my brother's best friend.
It's true. It's good to be here, man. I'm excited.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you. I know it was like last minute that we were like,
oh yeah,
bro, could you possibly come on? And you're like, yeah. We even thought we're like, I think he's gonna flake a little bit. Not gonna lie,
Hey,
I sent that last minute message.
You tell your friends I'm a flake.
He's gonna be like,
I mean, life happens, you know.
Yeah, no, that's true. No, honestly, it was gonna be a busy weekend, but when you guys told me, I was like, I think that'd be cool. I'll make some time. So I just got off work.
Thank you, bro.
And just came straight here, bro.
It's kind of late, but
You chilling, bro? The chicken wings can wait.
No, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell them who you are about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Phoenix, also known as SmileyCuts on Instagram. I'm born and raised Utah, here in Roy with these guys. I went to school with Isaac, actually. Grew up with him in elementary school.
Crazy.
I go way back, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, basically what I do, I'm a barber, hence SmileyCuts. So I've been cutting for around four-ish years.
And really that long?
Yeah, that's been crazy. Started 2021.
Damn.
So I know, but time flies. It's been crazy, but it's been good. Cut out in Bountiful, and
United Barber Co.
United Barber
If
Company.
you guys need a cut, go to United Barber Co. They all, go to
out,
Phoenix. Always book with Phoenix, but
Always
anybody
book with
there,
me.
Only though.
everybody there can cut your hair.
Yeah, no one else
Everybody.
works there except me. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, like they said, I work at United Barber Company. That's good. We got other barbers there, but yeah, it's good.
That's good. And you're part owner, right, of United, or how does?
Yeah,
that
I own a percentage of it. So there was
percentage?
originally 3 of us that started it in the beginning, and then one of them took off and went and did his own thing, started his own business, and now there's just 2 of us less running it. So yeah, it's been good. So
it's good. Well, how's life treating you right now, man? I know that you just recently went on a trip to Honduras. How was that?
it was good. We went with my wife down to Honduras to visit her family. It was fun. I mean, it was long enough for me to be like, all right, I'm ready to come back. But it was good, man. We had good food. We went to the beach. Typical vacation.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's good, man.
How long did you go?
Was it for about 10 days?
Oh, really? 10 days?
Yeah, I think half the trip was spent on the plane. So
Oh, damn.
nah, it wasn't that bad, but we had like a 10-hour layover in Houston the first day.
Damn, 10-hour layover?
10 hours, dude. It was actually wasn't that bad. I have an aunt in Houston, so we just stayed with her, and then in the morning we just took off again. But yeah, no, it was good. About 10 days.
In total, how long is the flight?
You know, I've never had a direct flight there.
Oh, okay.
So every time I've gone down to Honduras, I've at least had a layover more than 10 hours.
Oh, really?
9 to, yeah, I've had one that was like 16 hours.
Has it always been in Houston?
No, well, when I fly United, yes, but
okay.
I didn't always fly with United. So there's been times where I was in Miami or New York.
Damn.
But yeah,
nice.
it usually stops in Houston. But
what's your favorite thing that you did out there?
Phew, that's a good question, bro. Bro, I'm getting gordo, bro. I like the food out there, bro. It's good. They've got good food.
That's
so
cool. I don't think I've ever had like Honduras food before.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what it was for a while, but I probably say my favorite thing is like baleadas.
Baleadas.
You ever heard of those?
No.
So basically, it's like this is how I explain it. So think of like a burrito. But you ever had naan bread? Naan bread?
No.
Think of like pita bread. Have you had
Oh,
pita
yeah,
bread?
yeah, yeah.
So like soft texture like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's like the tortilla. It's thick and soft.
Ooh.
And they put beans in there. So it's gonna sound weird at first, but they put beans, then they put eggs, then they put sour cream. Maybe not sour cream, but like a type of cream. And then they throw plátanos, fried plátanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, okay.
So that's what sounded weird at first for me, because I'm like, that's all salty, and then here we eat plátano. Like if we do have fried plátanos, they're like for dessert, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like sweet.
Yeah,
But over there, they.
burritos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what the-
You have it with like a pudding or something. The plátanos.
what was
right? Like it's like over here.
Oh yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
plátanos, like you have it with like a pudding, like you said, like a dessert.
Yeah. So it's like sweet. So I was thinking, like super sweet, super salty, but no, bro, it's like the perfect mix of like sweet and salty.
Okay.
Damn,
It's
that's
not like
crazy.
too sweet, but it does mix with like the beans and the eggs, and sometimes they'll even throw meat in there, like
Yeah.
like sausage or
Really?
chicken and stuff. Yeah, but it's so good, bro.
If you had a, I'm gonna put you a little bit on the spot right now.
Put me
Okay.
on the spot, bro.
Okay. Mexican food or food from Honduras?
Ah. That's a good question, bro. I probably have to say Mexican food, bro.
Mexican
grew up. There's a lot more Mexican stuff that I maybe enjoy. Not
Yeah.
saying that I don't enjoy Honduran because they have a lot of good seafood, soups, but I think I don't know. At the end of the day, I probably just man, I don't know. You got me thinking about it. I want
I
to say
think-
Honduran food just because it's newer to me. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and I think it's because like you don't have it maybe as often. I don't. I
Exactly.
mean, I know you're Elsa Cooks.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But like,
I mean,
I don't
this is
know.
like the recent, like 5 years I've had Honduran
Yeah.
food. You know what I mean? Where all my life I grew up having Mexican food. So that's kind of a tricky position. But I think at the end of the day, I'd probably have to say Mexican food still. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about beans and banana. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, but pita bread, I could get down with some pita bread.
Yeah,
That shit-
bro, throw them
that's
all
pretty
together,
good.
bro. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
it's good, bro.
It is good,
Nice.
bro.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
have to, bro. If we can find the ingredients, bro, I'll have Elsa make some
Oh, nice.
so you guys can try it. But it's good.
That's sick. Yeah, for you guys that don't know, Elsa is Phoenix's
Yeah,
wife.
that's my wife. I just said that.
Yep.
But we'll cut her name out if she doesn't want her. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, just block it, just beep it out.
Just beep. Nah. How do you have any new like ventures with like barbering or anything like that that's currently gonna go on, or something that you want to try? Anything that you can talk about?
I mean, I've got a lot of plans and ideas, but at this point in my career, it's kind of tough to find the time to do all those plans and ideas just with how busy I am at work and then being married. You know, it's like
Balancing.
balance exactly. Like get home from work, but I also got to make sure my wife's good. But I also got to spend time to being social. But I'm tired of being social because of work. So it's like it's tricky. But I mean, I got plans to do more social media. I started the little interview things with with just like close clients because not everyone likes to be on camera. So I do it with close clients. Just do a haircut and interview them and get a lot of funny bits. Because the reason that came up to mind was I'd be just having conversations with the homies and we'd just be cracking up,
And random
laughing,
things
whole
just
shops in
pop
there.
up.
Yeah, and it's fun. So I was like, why don't we just record it? Like it's content as is, you know.
And
what I
you're
mean?
already cutting. You're already there. You're already cutting.
Exactly.
The hair.
You just turn on the camera and then just go edit it. So my thing with that is I like to edit a lot, like make sure it's nice. So it takes me a lot of time. So that's one thing on my list this year to get better at. So I'll probably do a lot more of those. And then honestly just further my education on like cutting hair. I want to do competitions. I haven't really ever done one. And I was going to try out and do one for the Utah Expo, but they don't have it anymore. There's
really?
Yeah, there's no
They're not having it this
competition.
year?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think I don't know what happened, but I don't think they're doing it anymore here.
Hmm.
So I'd probably have to go to Vegas or wherever else that's close
Yeah.
and
Oh,
do
okay.
something like that. But the competition's better there, so it's got to make sure I'm good. So
I know you did mention last time I got a haircut that you were gonna go out to Florida. Is that still like planned or? Were you
yeah, dude, that's in 2 weeks.
Oh really?
So
That's coming
yeah,
up soon
leaving.
then.
So I just got back
Damn.
from Honduras and I'm taking out of Honduras.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing basically a 2-day hands-on course with this guy named his Instagram name is Barber Josh.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy is really good, man. This is like huge fan of his work. Just like some crazy stuff. Just the shapes and the styling. It's different. So I really wanted to learn how he does that. I did take a class from him before, but someone else taught it. Cuts, who's also a really, really great barber. He taught the class, and so I learned his method of cutting hair and like applied it to my style, and it's helped a lot. So he's got credibility. Like I learned a lot. So I got lucky enough to get a 2-day hands-on course. I'm gonna be flying to Florida and doing that. And honestly, for me, I think that's the final piece in like what I'm looking for as a barber. I mean, I'm gonna still continue my education always so I can be the best for my clients. But I think that's the last thing which is funny, is that because that's my favorite thing to do is style. I love styling and doing this, but I feel like I don't have as good of an understanding as other people do. And so with that class I've taken and a lot of other classes, I mean, I've learned a lot from Big Frosty. He's another great barber that I've learned a lot from.
Is Big Frosty local or?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
I met him. Actually, I think he was doing a course, but he's in Provo, and then he moved down to Salt Lake. And he kind of cuts around about, but he's super dope barber too.
That's cool.
And so, traditional haircut, long haircuts,
yeah,
all those stuff. So, I feel like at this point in my career, I can do any haircut. Like I know how to do it. I may not be the best out of everyone, but I know I can do every single haircut I see. To a point where the client will be happy with it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you could basically you could see it and then you can execute it right away.
Exactly.
Nice.
Because
awesome.
For probably the first half of my career, it was I know how to do this haircut. This is how you do this haircut, and then mohawk. This is how you do a mohawk. It was like these haircuts. I know how to do these, but now I can see, like you said, perfect way to say it. Like I can see shapes. So pompadour is big and round. I can see that, and I understand how to manipulate the hair, where to cut it to get those shapes.
Yeah.
So now it's not like learning how to do haircuts. It's more like how to cut hair. In general.
Dang,
so
awesome.
that was honestly probably a big step in my career where I learned a lot more, and I feel like it helped me. And I feel like one of the missing pieces is styling. I feel like I'm pretty good at styling. I like I said, I always had a huge interest, but there's stuff I see on Instagram where I just don't understand. I'm like, I don't know how they did that. Like, what products did they use? Is it hairspray? Is it clay? Did they even use, and so how to use the blow dryer. So that's the point of this trip. Is to get a lot of information that he's got, but mostly kind of target that for myself.
Yeah. It's actually kind of crazy how seeing your progress in the haircut, because I remember when I first came up to you, or I actually approached you to get a haircut back at Regal's. I think it was right after you graduated.
Yeah. You were one of my first homie clients.
Yeah, and it was and I didn't even care if you messed up or anything. I was like, this is because I did. But I was like, oh, this is a homie. I need to get a haircut. I don't trust anybody with my hair, and I've known Phoenix since elementary, bro.
Yeah.
I think we had kindergarten together, so.
Yeah, no, we go way back.
Yeah, so I was like, nah, I don't even care, bro. He could try whatever.
Yeah, no, dude. Honestly, now that you bring that up, like I say, you were one of my first homie clients, people I knew that came in to me, which I thought it meant a lot to me, bro. Because I mean, it's not like we kept in touch every single day or we were talking a whole lot at that time, bro. So when you reached out and was like, hey, bro, let me get a cut, bro, that meant a lot because I didn't have clients, and all my clients were my friends. And they were all in Roy, or the Ogden area, Layton, which is kind of far from Murray. Yeah. So they didn't come down a lot. So when you reached out and was like, hey, bro, let me get it. I was like, yo, this is cool. I mean, you're still my homie, don't get me wrong. But we didn't have that connection.
Yeah.
As close as we do now.
Sure.
So I was like, oh, dope, bro. So, bro, I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, bro, I got you, bro. It was probably after high school we stopped talking to him.
Yeah. Just because life,
Yeah, I mean, of course, different paths.
But yeah, I'd say probably high school. So it was probably a good 7 years since we've actually talked, I think, right? Because we graduated 15.
Yeah, it's already been. It's 20. It's gonna be 10 years this year, bro. It's crazy.
I don't want to think about it, bro.
This year.
Is it our anniversary then, huh?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Y'all going to the reunion or what?
I was gonna say, bro, I don't even know if they got one. So if they got one, someone let me know, cause
who organizes it? The student body?
Yeah, I think so. So I think who was telling me? Someone that had Facebook. I don't have Facebook.
I'll ask Patrick.
I think it was Patrick or I don't even remember who it was, but someone was telling me that they were organized it.
Hallie too, no? I think
Hallie, yeah.
Who else
was it? It was Patrick, Hallie.
And then
was it him? Y'all saying the name right?
No, it was Hallie.
I think it was Hallie.
Okay. Hallie Brown, right?
Yeah.
He said it very confidently. You said it
yeah. Maybe, I don't know. You should change her name.
I do remember her.
Yeah.
I do for sure remember
she was
her.
cool.
Yeah, she was cool.
But yeah, I don't even remember who was in office. I just know Patrick Robello.
Sure.
Robello.
Is it Robello or Robello?
I don't know however he wants to pronounce it.
Robello. That's not bougie.
Yeah. Depends what ethnicity you want to say it, bro. Robello or Robello.
That's funny. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool seeing you progress in your in your career. What made you get into barbering?
Bro, that's a good question. Honestly, I think it goes way back. I mean, as a kid, my mom used to cut my hair,
Oh, okay.
And I ain't gonna tell you now. Like, it was probably like my mom probably hated those days because it was cheaper, and so she'd get us. All right, you getting a haircut today? And I just remember, heart sunk. I'm start crying. I'm like, no, I don't want to. And we get in the bathtub, take our shirt off, maybe throw a towel over it, and she would just cut us up. And when we were little, man, it was bowl cut, like straight up bowl cut. And as we got older, I think she just cut the sides and, you know, the top a little bit. But, you know, as a kid, I was like, I don't want this. So I remember she took us to, I don't even remember. It was like a local barbershop. And this guy cut my hair. He's like, hey, I'm going to make you look like a young David Beckham. And I was like, David Beckham's cool. I like soccer. And so he cut my hair. It looked super dope. And I was like, man, this is cool. But I think it stems from that. The reason I bring that up is because soccer players, man, growing up, I played soccer my whole life, you know. That's like a key thing in like professional soccer. Yeah. It's like their hair, you know what I mean? They always had the coolest trends or the newest trends, or
they try something different to like kind of get that new style out there.
Yeah.
And sometimes it don't work.
No, for real. Sometimes I look at them and I'm like, what the you know what I mean? But I think it always stemmed from that, because that's where I got a lot of my inspiration for my haircuts, you know what I mean? It was like the Euro hawk, the mohawk kind of style, and then it was the comb over, and then it was like the undercut and like all that stuff. And so I honestly think it stems from that. But that reason, I never took it serious, because I loved going to the barbershop, and I would spend half the time watching them cut and like, you know, talking, but I was really interested in how they would do it. And I was like, this is so cool. Like, everybody's cool, everybody's talking, everybody's chilling. I feel like I'm part of, you know, like a 12-year-old, 15-year-old. I feel like I'm part of the group. So I love the vibe. But back then, haircuts were like, what, $13? And I was like, how am I going to make a living off of $13? Like, as fun as this sounds, like, as much as a dream job this would be, like, I have a family, you know what I mean? What am I going to do with this money? So, never really thought about it. Went to college and was studying, like, criminal justice and law. And I loved it, but I hated college. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I had to take classes, like, that I didn't care about just because they made you. And so I just hated homework and how it was. So I dropped out. And then went on my mission down to Chile, and near the end, like, some dudes were like, "Hey, does anyone know how to cut hair?" And I was like, I don't know how to cut hair, bro. I never cut hair in my life, bro. Maybe did 2 haircuts right before I left, because you know, my little cousins need a haircut. And so they're like, "Oh, you cut hair?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro. You used to cut hair before, you know, when I was at home." Just making up some lie, because I was like, "I want to try." And cut their hair, and honestly, it came out decent. It's not that hard. You know, missionaries don't need nothing too crazy. Like, we can't even have crazy haircuts. But
really,
yeah, like, we had regulations of what we could have just to look professional. Yeah. So, you know, number 2 on the sides, and like, I just cut it up and gave him a comb over. And it was super easy, but it looked decent. Yeah. And I enjoyed it, bro. Loved it. And so I think from there it kind of like sparked. And right before I went home, I was looking up, you know, on the computer, like, okay, barber schools, you know, this and that, and found one. And that was like, I just doubled down on it. As soon as I came home, I enrolled, in the next month I was there, if I remember correctly. But it was like as soon as I got home.
I think that's crazy to think that, like, you said a month later you were in school, because like now, and not in like a bad way, like barbering, everybody wants to do that. Yeah. Or like cosmetology, because I remember when I originally wanted to do it, I had to wait a whole year. Yeah. Until I could actually like start the classes and everything, and then I ended up starting with you, and then.
Which is crazy, bro, because
you know, stuff happens.
When I went, dude, it's, and I feel like I figured out why, but when I went to school, like when I started, like I said in the beginning, there was 7 of us in the class, just 7, and they were like 3-week classes, and like I said, I started right off the bat, and half of them dropped out. I think it was me, shout out Violet, Oakley, and actually I don't even think Oakley was in our class. No, yeah, she was. And who else? I think
Angel started before you, right?
Yeah, he was the class right before me.
Oh, okay.
But I think those are the only 2 in my class that actually ended up graduating along with me. So yeah, 7, bro, and 3 of us graduated. But like you said, when you applied, you had to wait like a year. And I blame it on COVID, because when COVID happened, everybody's inside. And then mix that with TikTok, like the whole, and all these barbers doing their videos like that. I mean, it looks fun. And I mean, I won't lie, it is. But it is a lot of work. Yeah. But no one advertises that on TikTok. No one shows how hard it is to be a barber, or the long days you sit there with 0 haircuts, just hoping a walk-in comes in. You know what I mean? And so you see that, and people who aren't going to college, or people, you know, who don't really have a plan, they're like, oh, that looks fun. I want to do that for my career. And so that just spiked up because everyone's at home. Everyone's at home watching TikTok, seeing this career. They're like, oh, I'm going to go do that. And then you just get this surge of new barbers that just blast the school. So I think that's what happened. Is
like
why
the culture blew up, basically.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, the industry. And it's, I think I read an article not too long ago. I don't know if it was right. I didn't fact check it or anything, but that barbering is the #1 growing career right now. Just because there's so many people getting into it.
Damn, that's
and
pretty
so,
cool.
Yeah, so I see it as a good thing and bad thing. Like, it's good because it's like, you know, you're getting a lot more people. It's getting some recognition, and also like with more demand, like prices can go up, this and that.
Yeah.
But also with a lot more people, there's a lot less demand as well if you think about it, and the quality of haircuts kind of go down because there's a lot more people that are doing it just because it sounded fun, and they don't really like care about it. It's just like their last resort because you don't need a college degree, you don't need anything like that. You know what I mean? But also it makes me look better because then, you know, people who do take it serious, like, we can charge more.
Yeah,
you know,
because
we're giving good quality haircuts. But yeah, like also that goes with that. I paid, I think it was like $13,000 for a barber school. And at the last I checked, it's like close to around 20,000 now.
Holy crap!
Yeah, you might as well go get your bachelor's degree or something. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But
what would you recommend people that like are trying to get into, you know, barbering? Like, what would your advice be before getting like started into it?
Before getting started?
Yeah, like they're just like, you know what, I'm thinking about doing barbering.
Yeah.
You know, that looks fun. You know.
That's tough, man, because as a barber, you know, you take great pride in your work, and so sometimes like the natural urge to gatekeep and be like, bro, if you're not serious about this, get lost. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, make sure you want to do it, but also it's like, well, if you don't like doing it, like, you tried and figured it out, like, you don't want to do it, it's whatever. But what I would say is I would maybe look up YouTube videos. Honestly, there's a guy that comes to our shop, and I think it's a perfect example. He can't start school, like he said, because he's a year out. I think he can start in September. But he's wants to see how it works in the shop. He wants to get a vibe for it. And since he can't go to school and get that vibe, he just comes to the shop. He's not an apprentice, he's not anything, but he comes to the shop probably like twice a week on his free time and just kind of like watches, asks questions, and he's actually getting an upper hand in things because he's, you know, we're teaching him and he's asking questions and all that. So I would honestly recommend that. I think that's super smart.
So go like shadow, like go to like a barber shop and just be like, hey, is it okay if like I shadow you guys? Just kind of get a little head up.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's a better way to say it, just shadow. Most shops are pretty cool as long as you're not a nuisance. And like, it's kind of hard to be a nuisance, but if you're like in the way, or if you're, you know, you're being annoying, like not too many people are, but like honestly, if you just sweep their hair, that's all we really care about. Like, you do that, you're automatically on the good list. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, cool, you can hang out. Yeah. You can take waters. You can even talk to the clients if you want, like, jump in the conversations. But just be respectable. And most shops, pretty sure, are more than happy to have you in there and you know, watch and learn a thing or two.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You guys, you know, you guys allow that. You guys are letting him on and getting hands on.
Yeah, I mean, I know I would have liked that if someone did that with me. You know,
yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah, that's true.
Might as well get back in some way.
Yeah, you know? That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy that you gotta wait a whole year, and then like also being committed to like paying $20,000 as far as like you said 13 or 17.
When I went, it was like 13. Yeah,
dang, that's crazy.
It was 13.
I wonder why. I think probably just because of like probably the culture.
Too. Yeah, it's from what I understand, because we used to have like a pretty close connection with the people working at the school. It's the demand. They have too many barbers coming in and not enough spaces.
Oh, okay.
And so the way you got to find out if people are serious is up the price, you know. Yeah. And if they really will pay $22,000, and it's like, yeah, they really are. They're really real about getting it. So you know, we'll have one of these spots for them, because if I remember correctly, there was times where there wasn't enough chairs and people were all going to school, so there'd be barbers just sitting there waiting for someone to go home so they can like jump in the chair and like cut and learn. Yeah, so
that's crazy.
It just blew up, man. And they weren't ready for it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's definitely like a niche market. Like, you definitely like if you definitely know how to like do your job and do it like really well, or it's not even a job, but like basically like do your craft really well. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like your craft speaks for itself.
No, honestly, dude,
cool.
it's true.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest way, like transitioning into like a different convo. I think that's one of the biggest way that I've earned clients is not through Instagram, not through advertisements. It's just been word of mouth. You know, people see haircuts. Wow. I have this one guy, Carson, bro. He's probably brought me like 5-6 people already.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because he goes to the gym and work, and people are like, hey, yo, that's a good haircut. Where do you get it? He's like, oh, this is my boy. Like, come here, tell him I sent you. And so I do this thing where if you send me 2 clients, like your haircut's free. You know what I mean? Like I'm confident in my skills that I can keep the 2 clients. And if you think about it, $35 a haircut, and I keep that person, they come back. Let's be generous, like every month. That's 35 times 12, you know, in a year.
Yeah.
Might as well give this guy a free haircut for getting me 35 times 12. I'm not good at math. That's why I'm a barber. So I can't tell you that number, but I know it's a good number. You know, that's the whole reason I went into this. But yeah, so that's been like the biggest thing for me. So
nice.
If I recommend anything, it's don't worry about Instagram. I mean, it's good though, because I have gotten clients off of social media, but so don't like just ignore all that stuff. But I definitely think like just work on your craft. That's like the biggest advertisement. It's a walking billboard, your clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
There's been plenty of times where I've been out and about as a barber, and I see someone with a dope haircut. I'm like, yo, that's a good hair. Who cut your hair? And mostly it's for me because I want to know who's cutting the hair. Like, who's this barber? Like, go follow him on Instagram or, you know, networking a little bit. But, yeah, it's true. It's true.
Now, with you being a barber, let me ask you, when was the last time you got a haircut?
Bro, look at me. You look like
hey, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. This is funny, but I was we were watching like iCarly probably like a little while back ago, and me and Jill, and I'm like, you know who Spencer looks like, bro? I'm like, dude, Spencer looks like Phoenix.
It's the hair.
Yeah, because
there's goofy one.
Nah, but he's cool.
Yeah, no,
like, he's cool. But like just with the long hair, and then like you know how you're growing out your hair.
Yeah.
And like you guys both have like straight hair, so I'm like, damn, you know.
That's true. Huh? That is true. No, yeah, I mean, before I would probably get a haircut every 4 months because I was growing. I mean, I had it down to here.
Yeah, I know.
And I liked it, but it got to the. I feel like there's like ugly stages, right? So like you got short hair, clean, and then you want to get to medium hair. There's that ugly stage getting there. Yeah. Then you want to get to long hair. There's an ugly stage getting to long hair, and then once you get to long hair. There's another ugly stage to get the long hair, you know, where you can put it in a bun. And so I was hitting that stage, and I was just kind of fed up. I couldn't put it in a bun because some hairs would fall out because they weren't long enough, so they were in my face. But if I put product in, it'd be too, like, starch, you know, too much product. It'd be too heavy. Okay. And so, man, I was just done. My wife wasn't enjoying it anymore either. So.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that's why I chopped it down to short. I mean, it's still long, on the longer side.
It does look long, Yeah, I was gonna say when you had it longer, I was like, yeah, that's when you look.
Yeah, bro, I was looking musty. I was like,
nah, not even. It looks clean. It looks clean. I ain't gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying. It's like 50-50, bro. Like I'd wake up and if the hair was working, I was like, cool. But if it wasn't, I was just like, beanie it is. Like, you know?
Nah, but you rock it for sure. I think only certain people could like rock like long hair. Yeah. Especially if like it's straight, cause like me, like if I were to like grow my hair out, I don't think it look good. Like I think it look goofy. At least on me.
That's true, bro. Well, that's one thing is I didn't think I could grow like long hair and have it look decent. So I think honestly, until you try it, which is the hardest part, you'll find out. Cause there's some clients too that are like, "Hey, I want to grow my hair," and I'm like, "All right, bro, we'll see." You know, get the hair tech, and they do, and I'm like, "Actually, this looks pretty good. Like, you can do something with this."
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, funny you brought that up. I just got a haircut maybe like 3 weeks ago, so
nice.
Not too long ago. I'm getting one next week, so. I think I'm gonna just chop the sides off, bro. I just miss having a clean cut, especially as a barber. You know what I mean? Like, people go in, they shop with their eyes. As my partners are like Billy. He always is like, people go in, they shop with their eyes. So if they see the barber that's clean cut and he's got the best clothes on, they want to go to him, assuming he knows how to cut because he has the style. He could be the worst barber there, but if he looks good, people are gonna be like, I want to look like him. I'm gonna get in his share.
So just a few more questions on obviously barbering because like that's probably all you get a lot of the time, bro.
That's true. That's all.
What would you recommend when when someone's talking about barbering between apprenticeship and like actually going to a barber school?
So my
or at least your thoughts, your view, your thought.
Yeah. They both have their benefits. So it's kind of more. I guess what works for you. In my eyes, I think I mean, it depends on every barber, but I think an apprenticeship is cheaper. For people who don't know what an apprenticeship is, that's when you go and learn from a barber themselves. So someone who's licensed and has their instructor's license as well, they can take on someone and teach them. So what usually comes with that is you get like straight up one-on-one, you know, hands-on knowledge from a barber. So the benefit of that is if you find someone that you like their style or you like how they cut or you want to be like that, you can, if they're taking apprentices, you can go and learn directly from them. Like I said, it's also cheaper. I don't know, at least me personally, I don't know anyone in my network that charges, you know, $20,000 for an apprenticeship. Most of them have been 10 to under 15-ish, around there. And it varies. I mean, it's literally up to the barber. So I'm sure that's negotiable. But yeah, so the benefits of that is, like I said, you learn from someone hands-on. You get there, they can kind of work with you. And usually, if you apprentice at a shop and they have an open spot when you graduate, you kind of already have a job, you know, if it's like that, you know. Usually, if I take it on apprentice, it's usually because I want them to work with me. I see something in them and it's that. The benefit of the going to school is you've got peers, you know what I mean? It's almost like, it feels like a school, right? You got other people you can learn from, and you've got multiple instructors, so there's plenty of expertise that you can learn from. You know, this guy has this experience, this guy has this experience, this girl has this experience, and they teach you, and so you can learn a lot of different things. It's more structured. It's kind of taken a little more seriously than an apprenticeship, I feel like, sometimes. And yeah, I mean, that's what I see. The downside is that you have a lot of instructors, so you don't learn from just one person. And those instructors have, 30, 50 people they got to teach all in one day. So they might come and be like, okay, what's up? What do you need? Oh, I'm having trouble here. Okay, this is what you need to do. Do this, this, and that. Here, I'll show you a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, now you do it on this side. Okay, cool. And they'll take off. And you're like, oh, shoot, bro, I'm by myself. Like, you know what I mean? But they got to help other people, too. They got a bunch of people they're juggling. Sure. And also the downside is it's expensive. You know, it's 20, at least now it's like $20,000. Maybe less, maybe more. But with an apprenticeship, you know, it's cheaper, but also you learn from one person. You know what I mean? And that could be good or bad, but you don't really have peers. You just only have the people in your barbershop, which, like I said, I don't think that's a bad thing. But me personally, I went to school because I felt like it was a little more official. It was a little. I knew I wasn't gonna get what would you say, like, screwed over. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? You know what I mean? Someone might be like, oh, this and that, or you forgot to pay this. Yeah, no, I didn't know. I never received. You know, who knows? There's a lot of people out there that are kind of sketchy. And so yeah, so I had a blast at school. You know, I made a bunch of friends. Everyone was super chill. I mean, there was days in the back, we were in the back and they were rolling dice and shooting dice and like playing like poker back there, and I'd just go back there and be like, yo, this is kind of cool. Like, everybody was cool, man. There was days where I don't drink, you know, you guys know that, but maybe like 3 times a week, all the boys for lunch, we'd all get together and we'd all go to a bar, order wings, and they would, man, they'd get drunk, bro. Like, they'd be like drunk by the time we get back, so I'd drive them back. Dude. And so, but it was fun, man. I met a lot of cool people, networked. My network, I honestly believe, is a lot bigger because of school. So I can't really recommend like what to do. I personally can say what I enjoyed, which was obviously the only thing I did, which was school. But it's kind of more your personal preference, you know. Like, if Isaac likes how this guy cuts and he wants to learn, then he might just want to learn from this guy. And you'll get more hands-on, little one-on-one. At school, you get a little bit of hands-on one-on-one. You know, you learn most of it from trial and error, which is kind of with everything. But
yeah, for sure.
Like, they're not gonna sit there and babysit you through the whole entire cut. You kind of honestly have to mess up. Whereas another, you know, as an apprentice or as a shop owner, you're gonna make sure he doesn't mess up the client, because that's also your business. You know what I mean? Yeah, so if he sees you starting to mess up, like, hey, hold on, maybe I'll fix this, or maybe I'll do this. Where at the school, it's kind of like, you know, you're gonna get messed up, right? You know, that's what they go for.
True. Yeah,
and that's like $5.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, for reals. And that was another benefit. You go to school, you got a clientele provided to you. The school's got a bunch of people going to
Okay.
You don't have to go. Your apprenticeship. No one goes into a barbershop looking for an apprentice cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So if it's an easy cut, or someone's just chill about it, like that's when you get cuts. You know what I mean? Like you know how it is, Gio, right? Like finding your own clientele as an apprentice is hard.
Yeah,
it's hard, bro. Cause
I ain't gonna lie. I remember one time I came over to get a haircut from you, and Gio was there, and then it was time for Gio to take over, and I don't know what you did. You went out to go do something out in the back room or something, and Gio was just like, I was like, bro, I need Phoenix here. And I'm like, nah, bro, don't worry, you're good, bro. If you mess up, I know.
Nervous, bro. I was just like, because I don't know. At the same time, like you said, like usually when someone's messing up, you can be like, hey, wait, real quick.
Right.
Let me fix it, but I'll tell you what, like you were doing wrong, right? Well, obviously, if you gotta go to the bathroom or you gotta like go do something, you go do it or whatever. Yeah, just continue. You're doing good. I'm just like,
you're like, bro.
I was like, don't leave me. Don't leave me alone.
Yeah, bro. I was like, don't even trip, man. Like Phoenix will fix it, bro.
Yeah. Alright, let me just push your hair back.
Push the hairline, yeah. Now, for those who don't know, Gio was my apprentice for a little bit. So that was cool.
Just for a bit.
Just for a tad.
Life happened and I had to
put it on pause, bro. That's all it was.
Yeah.
You just put it on pause.
Put it on pause for now. I'm trying to still obviously like cut hair. My child won't let me touch his hair at all.
Really?
Like he needs a haircut and he's like, fine, I'll go with Phoenix. I was like, I'm scared. Last time you went to Phoenix, you were screaming. So I don't want Grumpy to like be screaming at a barbershop or something. So I was like, let me cut your hair. And he's like, no. I was like, okay. I was like, if you don't want to sit through a haircut, I'll just shave it then. Like I'll get like a 5 or a 6 guard and just. I can't have your hair long.
Going the legal style, yeah, bro.
I was like, and then I always told my parents, I was like, let me cut Santi's hair. Please just let me cut it. Like, you guys keep taking them to these barber shops that are not great ones. It's like, if because my dad has a very simple, haircut. Skin fade on the sides and like,
just a little
bit off the top. Like, it's not get me right, this and that. He wants designs, line up, nothing. My dad doesn't care about that. And so I'll be like, well, let me cut Santi's hair. At least to get some practice in. Like, we'll see, whatever. I see Santi in like a couple of days. He's already got a haircut. I'm just like,
dang, bro, the
like,
betrayal.
I just need some practice a little bit, As long as I can cut like my family's hair, that's fine.
For real, bro.
But
reals.
what's one haircut that you're just like, you're still gonna do it, obviously, because like it's what you're paid to do, but you're just like, bro, I'm tired of this haircut. Like,
bro. I mean, I actually got better. I used to hate Edgar haircuts, bro. Well, at first, bro, it was hard because you got long hair and then they want skin and you got this much room to fade all that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I got to fade skin to here, but also they've got like bulk. So how do I blend all that in such little space? And bro, probably like my first year and a half, I was butchering Edgars left and right, bro. Like I was their biggest nightmare, bro. Like, and it was on accident. But
was it on accident though? Or was just like...
Actually, no, bro. Deep down, I was that was revenge. But no, as much as I make fun of them, bro, I actually don't mind them now. Now that, like I said, I have a better understanding of how to cut hair, and shapes. I have a process that's a lot easier, and just follow the process. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'd say those ones. It gets tiring because everybody wants the same haircut. Oh, those fluffy haircuts, those TikTok haircuts. You know what I mean? Like all those kids that come in, almost like an Edgar, but without the bulk on the sides. It's just more on top and the front.
Those look good though. Like,
they actually don't look bad. Yeah, like my little brother does it sometimes. But
I have my little nephew that does it too.
Yeah,
he actually
Which
pull
one?
out too.
Yeah.
Caleb. That's pretty good.
The youngest one.
Yeah, the youngest. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like it also depends on hair because I'll have kids with like super straight hair, and I'm like, it's not gonna look like this because this guy's hair is wavy. But I'm like, I can cut texture. I can do the haircut, but it's not gonna look like because it's It's like it's like you can buy a motorcycle and a car, and it's like it's still two different things. You know what I mean? Like you still can't. You can modify the crap out of a motorcycle. It's still not gonna be a car. So like, you just don't have the hair texture. You just don't have the hair texture. Like, I can modify your hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can texturize it and I can add this and stuff, but it still won't look exactly the same. But so that's another thing people don't understand is in barbering, it's like it honestly depends on your hair. Like if Isaac were to get a haircut and I were to do the same haircut, it's gonna look a little different because he got different texture hair. You know what I mean? So, or Gio's, you know what I mean? Look at his hair. He's got like curls. His is already flaring out. It took me like to my shoulders to finally get a little bit of waves in there, bro. You know?
Damn, that's crazy.
So yeah, that's a lot of things people don't understand. It's like I want the Brad Pitt haircut. It's like, bro, one, you don't got the jawline for that, and then two, like the hair is a completely different texture. You know what I mean? Your hair's curly, bro. His is straight.
Man.
Well, moving on from like barber and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're married, right? You've been married for how long now?
About a little over a year and a half.
Oh wow.
Married over a year and a half? Why do I feel like you were married before?
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why. I feel like it's been longer, but how?
Longer?
Okay, and then how long have you been together?
Since 2021.
So 4 years.
Yeah, about
Wow.
4 years.
Yeah.
Or no, 2020 actually.
So 5 years.
2020. Yeah. About
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On I mean, like, because obviously, like, people bring up, children and, like, stuff like that, and like, not mean you need children,
Yeah.
Because like, there's some family members that'll be like, again with that question, have you and Elsa talked about having kids?
Maybe not like seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, hey, I want to have kids now, or like in 6 months or something like that. But I definitely do want to have kids. We do want to have kids, but I think it was just the green card at first, because we do want to travel. Kind of have some fun. Maybe visit California, because that's where she served her mission, and visit some people she was there. I want to go to Japan and do all that.
Me too, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it because of the anime?
I mean,
is that part of it, but like more obviously?
It's more. I mean, I grew up with Johnny Vong.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, okay.
I mean, he's Chinese, but I grew up with the Asian culture. Like, that's who I'd hang out with. He lived across the street from me, so I'd always go to his house as kids. And, we sit there and watch the old Godzilla movies and all the, I'd have old like Chinese like snacks and foods and like stuff like that. So I was always around. So I was always interested in that stuff just because I thought it was cool. He's the one that got me into it, so it's his fault. But yeah, he liked the Japanese culture too, and so that's why I want to go. Like, kind of, it's reminiscent. It's not Chinese, but it's still like that. And like I said, I like
the Asian culture.
Like you said, yeah, I do dig anime. Like, I watch Dragon Ball Z and some other things, and so I think it'd be cool to go over there and see some of that stuff. But the culture itself, I'm really fond of. I mean, if we're gonna talk about Asian culture, like specifically the Japanese culture, I like how they're very honorable and very like respectful. I think that's dope. But they're still, stand on business. They're very skilled in whatever they do. It seems like, and it's like, man, bro.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's another thing. So I want to go down there, and that's kind of hard to do with the kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and couldn't do that until she got a green card. So now that she has a green card, I mean, I'm hopefully by next year. I think that'd be cool to kind of dip and like go to Japan. But after that is probably when we're
after like you get to travel a little bit.
Yeah,
kind of like
spend time as a couple. Yeah, we haven't really been able to go anywhere except for
Honduras,
the U.S. Yeah, you know what I mean. And like, now that she got a green card, we can go to Honduras or.
Is she allowed to like travel out of Utah, or just she has to be in Utah?
Yeah, well, I mean, without her green card, yeah, she's fine to travel in the States. She still had her visa and everything. Like, she did everything the legal way. We just couldn't leave the United States, or she couldn't get back in because she wasn't a citizen. And so, I mean, we flew to, New Hampshire. We went to Vegas and stuff like that. But,
you also mentioned you gone to like Chicago to see your family, I think a little while back ago.
So I think it was in New Hampshire.
Oh, it was in New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, it just depends. I've got family in Idaho, New Hampshire, or Boston, kind of in the middle. Okay. And then Texas, but we don't really go to Texas too much. But yeah, it was over there. My dad's from Chicago, so maybe that's where you got that from.
Yeah,
but, I guess born in Chicago. He was raised in Mexico, but yeah, so that's kind of like the reason why we haven't really been serious about kids is because I mean, I want to go on a cruise with my wife, or do some vacation with her, and like I said, it wasn't possible until the green card. So it's like, well, I don't want to do it with kids. You know what I mean? So those are gonna have to wait.
Which isn't a bad thing, honestly. Like, I mean, me, cause like I have a kid.
Dang, bro, did I offend you?
No. You didn't offend me at all, bro.
I'm
like, luckily we do get to travel and do some things, but like, obviously we also have to take in consideration that we have him. So obviously we want to do things.
It's just a little more work, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit more work, and then it's like, is it safe in certain areas for him? Is it like, But
you gotta make sure they're having fun too.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. Is like, if I'm going to Japan, I want to go see some beautiful landscape and this and that. Yeah. And like, if I got a kid, he's gonna be like, "This is boring, bro. Let's go back to the Tokyo arcades or something." You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, that's fun too, but I want to see some other stuff, bro.
I know, yeah, they take it to a whole nother level, man. That's crazy.
It's wild, but yeah, just to answer that question, that's kind of why.
No, actually, I want to go to Japan just to go snowboarding. I think that'd be an awesome experience.
Oh, that's true, bro. Yeah. They got some big mountains over there.
But with that being said, man, when are you going somewhere? Because I know Gio went like, what was it, like in January?
Yeah, we went in January.
Yeah, bro, you got to go with us.
We were going to go actually tomorrow, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a buddy that hit me up and he was like, "Hey, bro, we're getting an Airbnb. We're going to go boarding." Okay. I was like, "If you want to come," but it was so late. No, I've been booked out for the last 2 weeks, bro, since I got back. And so
that's good.
It was, it is.
That's awesome.
It's tiring, but it's good. But, he just hit me up like 2 days before it, and I was like, "Dude, I would. It'd be fun, but I'm booked out. Like I can't take the day off now, you know."
Especially since you're leaving out to Florida in a couple weeks.
Yeah, bro. So it's like I gotta get some money to just be safe on that too.
Who's like obviously goes to you wants to go get their haircut too, because like you have clients that I've seen being there that'll go every week. They will go every 2 weeks.
Yeah, these people gotta stay fresh. They don't like the stubble. So yeah, that's good for me. Yeah, bro, come again. Come back in 3 days actually, bro. But yeah.
So. What's your top 3 anime that you recommend for like people to watch, but like also just your top 3?
So if you're talking about like my top 3,
your
like
top
my
3
top
right
3,
your top
I gotta
3.
put. I mean, you know, I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z. So that's just mandatory for me, like one of my top 3. And then I'd have to say, definitely Attack on Titan. That one's a really good one. And then these are basic, bro, because I'm not like deep into like all the anime stuff. I'm more mainstream, I guess. But I'd say Jujutsu Kaisen. Those ones that keep me intrigued the whole time. Yeah. But if I were to recommend, instead of like my top 3, I would recommend for sure Attack on Titan. I think Jujutsu Kaisen would be good. It is a little complicated. So maybe, I'd say Jujutsu Kaisen, and then maybe My Hero Academia. That one wasn't my favorite. It wasn't. But, it's good. It's cool. I like the concept, but I just couldn't stand how much the main character kept crying, bro. Yeah. He cried about every single little thing. I was like, bro, shut up. Like, I was like, come on. But yeah, that's just I'd say my top 3 is Dragon Ball, Attack on Titan, and Jujutsu Kaisen for sure. Those are pretty good. Though.
One that like is a big one for everybody, and I'm not hating. I'm just saying, is Naruto.
Oh, dude, that's true.
Like I don't know what it was. Like I've put on the first episode and everything, but I think the thing for me is it was slow. It's slow at the beginning. Even my brothers Andres and Junior were like, no, like you gotta get past the like first couple episodes before it like really gets into it. I was like, I want to be interested though. Like if the first couple episodes aren't like, you know, like grabbing my attention, like then it's like.
Well, that's the thing, dude. I agree. Naruto is a big one that I wanted to watch. Angels kept trying to get me to watch it, and we would go back and forth like, no, Dragon Ball Z is better, Naruto's better. But honestly, I think Naruto is pretty dope. I watched quite a few episodes. I just never finished. I didn't get that far. I'm not even gonna lie. And it was good. I just distracted about this and this. I was more interested in this. So I'm sure it's a great one, but I've never watched it through. But when I did, I thought it was kind of cool. But what about you, Isaac? You watch anime, bro?
Yeah, I watch like Futurama.
The Simpsons.
Yeah, Family Guy. You know.
SpongeBob.
Those are my favorite animes.
No, actually, I think my favorite anime would be like One Punch. I really like One Punch.
Oh, dude, One Punch. That one was fun, bro. That one was funny.
Good. The animation is pretty good. I think.
I like that one too a lot.
Yeah.
That's probably one I would recommend too to someone starting.
Yeah,
I think it's a little more comical in action. Right?
Yeah, it's actually it's just like 2 seasons too, so it's not even that like.
Yeah,
long
you don't gotta spend your life catching up.
I know. Yeah.
That's why I don't recommend Dragon Ball, because I'm like, if you're starting, like, Dragon Ball is dope, but like, there's so much you gotta catch up on. You know what I mean?
Like, how long is it?
I don't know the amount of episodes, but I mean, it's been around since I think
since before
early 90s, maybe late 80s.
That's crazy.
And like, it's all been continuous, so it's like you literally grow up with Goku. Like, he's a little kid when he starts.
Whoa,
then he's a teenager. Then he's adult. Then he gets married and has kids. And then he's, his kids grow up and now they're fighting together. You know what I mean? So it's like, it literally goes through the whole thing.
And his kids have a kid.
Yeah, his kids. He's got grandkids now. Like,
man, that's crazy.
And he still look the same age.
Yeah, for real, bro. You don't age at all.
Is it longer than One Piece? Because I know One Piece.
Bro,
is
One Piece.
long,
I think is longer, to be honest, because they're still going.
I know. It's crazy.
I mean, Dragon Ball's still going too, but I remember One Piece, like, watching it as a kid. Like, we didn't have cable or nothing, but like on Saturdays they'd sometimes show One Piece, and I actually really liked it. But I only got to wherever that was. I think it was like their first season they would release, and bro, they're clear past that, and I'm like, there's no way I'm catching up, bro.
It's crazy.
I was 7 years old.
Dang, really?
Yeah, watching all that.
Yeah, I know One Piece is freaking long. Man. Yeah. I think I got to where like they're actually finally going to what's that? They're like they like try so hard to like get to like some like place in like the ocean where it's like I don't know what it's specifically called. But I think that's where I stopped. I'm like, yeah, this is too long.
Like, that's the first episode, bro.
Oh yeah.
What you talking about? That's the first episode. Just kidding.
Nah, but yeah, I think One Piece for sure is my favorite. And then I don't know, man. I don't think I've actually ever been too much into anime.
Yeah.
But I ain't lying. Futurama's dope. I like Futurama. It's pretty dope.
That's funny.
Yeah, I also haven't really gotten into, like, my siblings are into anime. I grew up with Dragon Ball Z and I love Dragon Ball Z. But like, if someone's gonna ask me, like, I'm gonna have the basic answer, Dragon Ball Z, bro. But like, don't put me into that.
It was good. I mean, I always liked the principles of it, like the idea of just being strong, bro.
I always thought it was funny, like, because we would go to when we were in Mexico the first time I went. You'd see like Dragon Ball Z on the TV, SpongeBob or something like that, and I forget that obviously like I don't forget, but like hearing the names that they say, like Bob Esponja.
Oh yeah.
Goku, Dragon Ball Z,
Super
Vegeta.
Saiyan
There's like
Saiyan Gene. What is that?
So just like hearing that is just like, all right. I was like, I mean, glad they have it out here, but I was like, what's when you do decide to have kids, when you do, are you gonna teach your kid like barbering and stuff like that? Are you gonna teach him that skill set?
Oh, I'm not gonna be there for my kid, bro. I'll be gone. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, imagine, bro. That's so messed up. Nah, we'll go get some milk, bro. Pack of cigarettes. Nah, but on the real, bro. Yeah, I think I want to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting that. I ain't gonna be there. I was like,
so what kid, bro? What kid you talking about? What's a father?
Oh snap.
No, dude. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna force it on my kid, but I'm definitely gonna cut their hair at an early age so they get comfortable with it. Cause that's the last thing I want too, is my kid to, as a barber, barber's kids throwing a fit in the chair. I'd be like, bro, what the. But yeah, I think I would like to get them at least introduced to that. Maybe have them practice on their brother or sister or whoever, in the future. Yeah. But if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. But yeah, I'd be interested. I think that'd be cool. Having a kid that cuts hair too.
I think it'd just be a good skill set to have.
Yeah.
Just because, like, obviously when they get older and stuff like that, like, I know how to cut. Like, obviously there's still stuff that they can learn and everything, but like, it would just be great for them because it's like, what if they don't want to go to college? Just in that, it's like, well, you at least have barbering for now to make some money or whatever until you figure out what you really want to do and everything like that.
No, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. He'll be like cutting haircuts in high school, making some money.
Yeah.
Like those videos of those people cutting hairs in the
bathroom.
Oh yeah, for real, huh?
No, but it's real, bro. I wish I started younger, because I mean, in high school you've got ton more friends.
Yeah.
I mean, you call them all friends, but they're more acquainted. But like, still, people are still. You're such in a social environment where people are more than happy to reach out or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, especially when you got Twitter. Like, I was talking to people I barely knew. Like, I knew of them. Was at the time?
Oh, my bad.
Okay. No, but yeah, like, it's really good to build a clientele. Like when you're in high school.
Oh, okay. So I think you said someone. Say you knew Eldon or who?
What?
I don't know. Never mind. Never mind.
No, but yeah, in high school, that's a good age. Like because you still got all your connections, all your homies, and so that's already a huge clientele. Just high school friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then like you said, you know, people shop with their eyes. So
yeah.
Like, I think like, oh damn, you got a haircut.
Yeah, I know. For real. And plus, it's clout too as a kid, bro.
For sure.
You're the barber of the school, bro.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Imagine giving like teachers haircuts.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like the principal coming into the bathroom to get a haircut.
Instead of like yelling at you guys, he'd be like, "Hey, I'm next."
Pull me in.
But all right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll wrap things up. But like I said, we'll be right back. Y regresamos otra vez al episodio de WhatsApp, papá. Aquí con nosotros el Phoenix.
Dang, bro, that was a grand intro.
SmileyCuts.
AKA SmileyCuts. Cortos Smiley.
Take it away,
Corto sonrisa.
Corto sonrisa. Oh yeah, I messed up on that one actually. Yeah, it was like, how you say smiley in Spanish? And I was like,
Is there anything you want to plug or anything? Your IG or any
I mean, I didn't even think about it until now. Yeah, bro, come look me up on Instagram, SmileyCuts. Just straightforward, no numbers, no dots, just SmileyCuts. And give United Barber Co. a follow.
In Bountiful.
Bountiful. Come get a haircut. I'll be happy to hook you up.
Yeah. Yep. Our boys there will hook you up. Anybody there does great haircuts, especially our boy Phoenix. I mean, he cuts my hair. I haven't gotten a haircut in a sec. I'm letting it grow out. But yeah.
How about this, bro? You come in, say you saw this off the podcast, I'll give you a discount.
Hey, there we go.
You made it this far, you deserve it.
But yeah.
that's true.
But yeah, you're a real fan.
I guess like maybe one last question. If you could go back and give yourself some advice, what would it be?
Dang. Like in barbering or just in general?
Just in general, bro.
Just in general?
Yep.
I would say I probably the biggest thing I learned is I'd probably tell myself to stop relying off others people's ideas on yourself. I feel like growing up it was like my value was based on what everyone thought. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like I'll try my best to like make sure everyone like could see the value that I could give. But now that I'm older, bro, not everyone's gonna see value. Not everyone's gonna, and that's okay because sometimes. But that doesn't mean you don't got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's part I tell because I think as a young age, bro, that's like one of the biggest things. Not that I was insecure or this or that, but I was like, I have to make sure these people know I got value when I do this, or make sure people know this, so that they know this. So I'm gonna try my best to do this, and sometimes it just gets exhausting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, actually, I think that's a battle that all men have at least at some point in their life. Cause, I think as man, you gotta like have something to bring to the table, and then if not, then you're kind of like
you gotta prove worth, right?
Yeah, because if not, then you're kind of just dead weight, and and just like you're just gonna be disregarded or whatever. So it's like
it's true.
But I think you grow and you learn and you apply yourself to certain things and you build confidence within yourself, man. So
yeah, 100%. No, I agree with that.
Oh yeah, Gio, what's your last question?
Yeah, Gio.
My last question.
Or actually, no. Actually, what would
you say?
Yeah, what advice would you give yourself?
Me?
Your younger self, yeah.
I'm still
to
young.
baby Gio, bro.
To baby Gio, yeah.
I don't know. That one's a little hard.
Well, actually, you know how like you say you're still young, but you're the only one with the kid, bro.
Hey, true, bro.
Hey, don't call me out on that.
Yeah,
I'm young,
you a
but I'm
full-blown
old.
dad, bro.
Yeah, you dad, bro. You gotta be showing us.
What would I tell my younger self?
Yeah.
Everything will work out. everything happens for a reason. You might stress out like for a little bit, but just know that it works out at the end. Take a deep breath, relax. Cause I feel like I overthink a lot. I still do it now, but like before, like I used to overthink a lot. Cause like when I found out I was gonna be dead, I was like, oh my god. Like I felt like I wasn't ready. Like I felt like I didn't have my life together. Like that's what it was. Like I felt like I needed to have my life together. It's like it's nice to have your life together, but at the same time, it's like you don't like necessarily need to just try your best and keep doing it.
Yeah, that's true, bro. You're never ready for something you're not ready for. You know what I mean? That's what my client told me, bro, and I was like, what do you mean? But I'm like, no, it's true. Like, how you gonna get ready for a kid if you don't got, you never had a kid?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What about you, Isaac? What would you tell your younger self?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think for sure with the confidence thing, like just definitely like you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Just do what you like doing, and then don't be scared to love. Probably another thing. And that's it.
That's true too, bro.
Nah, fuck. Look, no, just kidding.
Cause yeah, bro. I mean, growing up in a Hispanic household, bro, like you're not taught to like be emotionally intelligent.
Say show emotions.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like they're kind of just taught like, oh yeah, if you don't stop crying, I'm gonna hit you harder. I'm gonna slap you.
Give you a reason to cry.
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I crying then, bro?
Exactly. So it's just like, oh okay, I just gotta shove it down. But I think like like being able to recognize that and then like not teaching your kids that, it's a big step. And yeah, it's a big learning curve for sure. But once you learn it, you don't stop learning. You just still keep learning. So.
I agree, bro.
Yeah, man.
I agree.
All right, Dave. We always end on a serious note, kind of.
Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the What's Up Papa podcast. Once again, I am your host, Joe. This is Isaac and our great friend that was able to be here, and we really appreciate it. Our boy, Phoenix, not Isaac, Phoenix.
No, I'm always here, bro.
He is a great
But
friend,
once
bro.
again, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. And if you haven't made someone's day, make someone's day, make someone smile, give someone a hug. You don't never ever know what someone's going through. Just make their day. We appreciate it.